Good morning, everybody. At least good morning here down in Europe. We are having a great start of our webinar week here at ACRU, and I'm here together with Guy and Jean-Pierre. Hi, Guy. Hi, Jean-Pierre. Say good morning to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Jean-Pierre just turned off his video. He's getting shy. This is going to be a great webinar. I've been doing a lot of prepping with Guy, and he's going to show us some amazing tools, everything that you need to know. But let me start with a formal introduction. Yeah? So I'm here with Jean-Pierre and Guy. Jean-Pierre is the Chief Executive Officer, and Guy is a user experience designer for Akumendo. And Guy, you're going to run the whole webinar. And I'm here, and Joanna is as well. You won't see her, but Joanna is the brains behind all of this, has organized it all, and she is like moderating. Yeah? So guys, please use your chats, and I see that everybody's already saying good morning. I'm going to type good morning as well to everybody. And then make sure you use messages, make sure you share any private messages, anything you want to, please make sure you do. Also, don't forget to vote for the Crew Awards. I'll put in the link later in the chat so you can still vote for the best of the best. But for now, I'm gonna let's talk about how to implement and benefit from remote collaboration tools and workflow from a crew perspective. It's a long title, but especially in these days, it's a very important subject. I'm gonna stop this presentation. I'm gonna hand over to Guy, and Guy, it's all yours.
Super. Thank you, Ono. Great to have you, everyone, for this webinar. So I'm going to go through a presentation. It's going to take something like 30 to 40 minutes, and then a question and answer session. But feel free to ask any question with the chat system anytime, right? So let's go for this presentation right now. So first of all, I would like to say that at Akumendo, we love ACRU and the way they participate in the well-being of crew people. As you may be, most of you crew members, you know that your life has changed a lot recent months, that your life also is full of challenges. Your system of work is very complex. What is the agenda of this seminar? So you know what is going on for the next minutes. We are going to talk about remote collaboration tools. And my approach and our approach at Akumendo is by a trilogy of tools. And we will explain that. It's been based on experience, and it's been based on exchange with experts in this domain. All this will be explained in the perspective of your remote and distributed workflow as crew members. We will talk about how to deal with efficiency, bandwidth, concern, but mainly security. You will see that security is on top of the concerns and issues you will have to address there. We will talk a little bit about how to improve remote meetings, some tips and tricks, how to improve files and resources sharing. We all know Dropbox or Google or Microsoft tools, but I will go a little bit deeper to draw your attention of how you can enhance files sharing. Also, how to get started with collaboration whiteboarding. For many of you, whiteboarding or real-time collaboration boards are something new, and you will see that, but it will bring probably a tremendous advantage and tremendous features in your workflow. We will talk also about integrating these remote tools into information workflow. At Akumendo, we have a system that provides dynamic signage system for crew and guests, and we will show you how you can benefit from both systems, and in particular, how you can improve information sharing, because all of this is about information. And then we will end up this meeting with some question and answer. But first, we would like to introduce you to Akumendo for a few minutes, since it's not the main topic of the show, you have as facilitators today 2 people. I'm your servant, I'm Guy, and you've got also Jean-Pierre, who is the CEO of Akumendo. Jean-Pierre is here.
So hello, thank you to be here with us and to attend this fabulous idea of webinar with Ecru. We are very happy to be part of this seminar. So Akumendo is a company we're working together with Guy since 10 years. Our company enhances existing or new built entertainment, automation, information, audiovisual advanced system with a comprehensive set of unified and smart interface system. So I'll let Guy now do this presentation, and I hope you will enjoy. And I will be there with Guy at the end also for some demo.
Super.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jean-Pierre. So I'm Guy Butterati, and I've been the very edge of both content and technology, content creation and technology. Today I'm a user experience expert, and I'm also a designer. And I've been designing the Akumendo system, but I also work as an advisor for advanced user experience creation, mainly in the luxury hospitality world, travel and tourism, and mainly yachting, super yacht and mega yachts. What's important is that I've always been at this frontier between the content and the technology, and always been attracted by the best tools to create and share information. Everything we are going to talk today is about sharing information. So what is this approach by a trilogy of collaboration tools? Let's investigate a little bit. During your workday, you have meetings, you share resources, or you work on resources. Resources are files, mainly documents, and you want to collaborate. So we have here 3 tasks that are populating your workday, and they are all mingled together, intertwined. You have meeting and huddles, right? You spend time in discussions, exchanges with other people, with teammates. You seek for team support. You want to build or to maintain a team. You want also to strengthen your goals by exchanging with other people. This is what you do during meetings. But you have also resource sharing on the other hand. Resource sharing is mainly files transmission. Okay, could be through emails, could be through many means. But you have to transmit documents, transmit information, get documents, and get information. And you have to manage all those resources. It's digital resources, lots of files, lots of folders, directories, documents, projects, many items that you have to manage. You have to securely store them. You have to have them on your computer, but you want access on your smartphones and tablets. You want that your team members are in sync and have also the same files securely stored. And you want also an active backup. What you want is every file you're working on is automatically backed up somewhere in case your computer fails or any event can occur and jeopardize your content, right? You want an active backup. You don't know what it is, but you need it. It's versioning. Versioning means that you want to keep track of the content of the file. You have been working for a long time on the same spreadsheet, but maybe sometimes you want to go back into history to understand where this document is coming from, or you want to override something wrong done by a team member, by a colleague, and you want to go back to another version, or you want to branch another version to create a new document from an active one. So this is versioning. And you want also, and you will see that it's easy to do with the actual tools, you want to annotate and keep track of comments and annotations throughout your workflow. This is resource sharing. And then there's a new kid in the block. The new kid in the block is what? It's collaboration through whiteboarding. Today, or the past month, when you used to collaborate face-to-face during huddles and meetings. You used to send files using email, but what if you could collaborate in real time on a huge whiteboard where you can stick any kind of information you want? So this is collaboration in whiteboarding. This may be new for some of you. You want what? You want to get at all time, 24 hours, 7 days a week, you would like to be able to access the big picture of your problem, your workflow, your project, the people you're working with. You want access to this big picture, a place where at a glance, you will see what's going on. You want also to be able to dive deep into the detail, sort information, reveal hidden information from that big picture. It means that you want a place where you can access both synthetic information and detailed information, and you want this in real time, where people working with you can feed with new information, curate information, bringing new vision, new information, updates, and so on. And then, what if you could track tasks and manage tasks and distribute tasks? Because you all know your to-do list. You have a to-do list on your smartphone or wherever. But the to-do list is something very selfish, very isolated from the teamwork. Okay, when you've done something, you punch that to-do list and boom, to do, right? But real work is teamwork. And for this sake of the teamwork, you would need some sort of task management, right? Okay, we will see later what is this trilogy of tools in detail. But I would like to draw your attention on something. You've got this trilogy of tools that is the perfect toolbox for your distributed and remote context. Distributed and remote, but also when you're on board, whatever. It means it's your workflow from now on. But then you want to improve, or you may want to improve information workflow, information flow. And then you can connect these tools with some kind of information. And this kind of information is called digital signage. It works together with those tools. Dynamic signage. What is dynamic signage? You've all seen in shops, in big companies. Maybe some of you on board already have a display where you can have gathered in one place interactive information that are accessible from this display, which is a touch display, or from your smartphone, from your tablet, from your computer, and wherever you are, from the web. This is obviously something new and something that you may want to implement on board, or you want to at least give a look. Dynamic signage is important because it will bring both crew-oriented or guest-oriented information. We will show you later. It's a system that can be integrated on board within the audiovisual and the information system. And it's a system that is easy to use. So with all these tools, on one side, all remote collaboration tools as a trilogy of tools, and dynamic signage on board, you will rise the game and you will enhance tremendously the information accessibility. And of course, you will increase welfare, you will increase efficiency, etc. at work. Okay. You know that, right? seems something that you know. Remote collaboration and distributed context is getting important and very challenging for many reasons. Now that you are probably ashore for some of you, on board for some of you, under lockdown for some of you, you understand that collaboration and to be able to collaborate remotely in a distributed context is very important. I think you understand that, right? With who do you collaborate? First of all, with your colleagues, while on board, but also while on leave. Why while on leave? It means that when you're on leave, you come back on board for your duty, you have to catch up with a massive amount of information. What if you can find this information easily? What if you can keep yourself updated as soon as you're ready to go back on board with what has happened during your absence? And also you have, okay, crew operation like charter or owners cruises, but you have during your year some important periods like refit or shipyard periods where the need for information sharing is very important. With who do you share this information as well? Of course, with the owner's staff or the yacht management staff, with agents ashore, many people you're sharing with, but also, of course, with the owner, the boss, or guests, charter guests, for example. And you can exchange information before or during the cruise, of course. Then you share information with the yacht management team, should be ashore. They need to understand what's happening on board. You need to share information with them. You need to get information from them. And this is a worldwide issue, everywhere in the world. And you can work with suppliers and with AV-IT support team. You know that working with AV and audiovisual, I mean, and information system is very complicated and you need support. So look at this landscape. You have so many people to work with. I think you agree, hopefully. So you need flexible tools and you need a little bit of practice to have this working together. Well, someone has a very important message to you. Very important. Watch carefully. Be very careful, you should. As great power comes with great responsibility. Okay, what does it mean? It means that these tools, remote meeting, whiteboarding, file sharing, they are very efficient. They give you great power. But with this great power comes a great responsibility. It's very complicated anyways. How to deal with this? First of all, dealing with security. Because, okay, there are some bandwidth issue because they are connected tools to the internet. And you may think that bandwidth connectivity will be an issue. But we will see later that it is not that much an issue, in fact. The main issue is security. You must have a security state of mind. Let me explain a little bit. Security state of mind. Okay, you are going to use remote meeting tools, whiteboarding tools, file sharing, and you may just overlook security because you already have a big burden on your shoulders. But when you leave home, you do not forget to close it. When you leave your car, you do not forget to lock it. When you drive your car, you do not forget to watch out for the environment. You protect your home, or you protect your boat from intrusion and so on. You have to do exactly the same. You have to have a security state of mind, which is obviously very important. Then again, you have to have some kind of connectivity awareness. It means All your systems today are connected. Smartphones, tablets, computers, systems on board are also more connected than ever. And is it going to be a problem for connectivity, for bandwidth? Not always. All these tools are in fact optimized to work on not so big connectivity. That said, in your specific context, as a crew member, when you are at sea, you sometimes use, for example, VSAT, right? Well, here comes the problem. You know the problem with VSAT. VSAT, satellite information, satellite internet, is the only way to go when you are deep at sea or when you are far from shore-based connections. But when you want to use these tools, you have to remember, for example, that the VSAT has great latency. Remember the satellites, they are 36,000 kilometers away from the Earth. It takes seconds to go up and down from your computer to the internet and back. So there is a lot of what we call latency. And the latency is not good with real time. So it means that real-time information will be impeded, will be compromised by this latency. Even though you may have a big bandwidth connection through VSAT, for example, video chat will sometimes not work that well, and you will prefer probably to go with videos, with audio only, or use systems that can cope with video signal latencies. Then, when you're close to the shore, we do recommend that you use 4G connection, or, if available, Wi-Fi in the marina. And then you will see that those tools can cope with various connection scenario. And anyways, you will have the connectivity you need. So connectivity is not a big issue. This is for out of the board, okay, out of the boat, back from the internet. But inside the boat, you need a very good Wi-Fi or very good Ethernet, very good network connection. And for this, we do recommend that you ask for support by your audiovisual and IT, where your AV IT support team to check if the Wi-Fi is ready for such remote collaboration tools. You can ask questions about that. And during the Q&A session, you will be welcome to ask us some specific questions. Well, as a matter of security, the first barrier, the first thing you have to consider is massive care, deep care for your password. I cannot insist more on this. Be careful with password. Use password management system. This one, the 1Password, I recommend you. If you don't have a password management system, actually, I do recommend this one, 1Password, because it can work individually, but it can work also as team. And it's a very deep and very feature-packed system, very reliable. Okay, we can talk a lot about password. Okay, we can talk a lot. I would just recommend one thing. Change passwords from now and then, and please use a different password for every services you subscribe. Please do that. Have a password, a different password for every system, every platform, every service you subscribe to. A different password. This is very important. Don't use 12345, Liberty, Star Wars, whatever. Use not easy to understand, not easy to remember, to find password. Could be easy to remember for you, but please use hard password and use only 1Password for only one service, right? This is extremely important. Now, if you are a big team, if you are working in a big crew for a big yacht or middle-sized yacht, whatever, if possible, do implement mobile device management system. What is a mobile device management? It's a software that runs in the cloud or on board or ashore at your yacht management. There are various scenarios there, but obviously it's a system that will help you manage your smartphone, your tablets, your computers, manage the access to your network, manage the access from outside to inside and reverse, manage which kind of AirPlay, AV, Wi-Fi service you can access from a smartphone. You may be a guest, for example, and you want to give your guest during charter access to a part of the services, but not the other part. You want to protect crew services from guest services and reverse. So please, if you can, implement mobile device management system. Here are two names I give you. If you are curious, if you want to know more about mobile device management, called MDM system, well, if all your devices are iOS or macOS, I strongly recommend Jamf. If your system is mixed with iOS, macOS, Windows, and Android, I strongly suggest MIRO. These two companies are providing cloud-based mobile device management that are not very expensive, but are extremely powerful and can be deployed by not so expert people. Maybe you can seek for help, but it can be deployed with not such expert people. Importantly, I would suggest that you team up with your ETO, if you have got an ETO on board, or a trusted IT support person. Please designate someone in your company or in your team, someone you know very well, you trust a lot, to be your support, okay? And keep asking for configuration, for support by these people, ETO or a trusted IT support person. This is important. Well, you may find also that on board, while you are on board, when you're at home or on leave or remotely working, it depends on your smartphone, your tablet, or your computer and your connection. But while you are on board, all these tools require a very good AV-IT system, a very good information technology, information and telecommunication system. So I would suggest to audit or have an audit and an upgrade or an update of your AV-IT system. If you ask to professionals, they will come with great support and they will help you, for example, mitigate your Wi-Fi problems or connectivity problem. And moreover, they will help you put in perspective all your needs in terms of connectivity. And then, well, okay, I know you are very serious people. I know that. Well, anyways, when you're ashore, please be as mindful as when you are on board. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're on ashore, you may think that security is not so important, or you may forget that just because it's not your main problem, right? Just think about the first point, the first bullet point. Have a security state of mind. Ask your ETO or your trusted AV-IT support person for more information to get a better awareness of what security means. Okay? Well, now, let's talk about the first tool, part of this trilogy of tools. Remote meetings. Okay, so how to improve remote meetings? Okay, first of all, be prepared. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you come in a meeting, have your documents ready, know what you are going to talk about or what you expect from that meeting, have an agenda. Okay, I know this is common sense. I know that. But you would be surprised how many people just forget that because of the stress of the meeting. And they come in meetings unprepared. And here begins the problems. Be prepared. That's the first advice. Care for a nice setup. Okay, you would say, blah, 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 I don't have any time for that. Why should I care for a setup? Well, it's important because the only way people are going to interact with you will be through the picture, through the sound you will send. So care for a nice setup. What do I mean by a nice setup? Good microphone. Okay, this is a good compromise. Okay, you've got headphones, good microphones, specifically designed for voice. Don't think about headphones or microphone and stuff like this. Think about light, think about the orientation of your computer, and so on. Let me show you my actual setup. You see it? You will see that it's a makeshift system, just because I'm in lockdown at home and I've just prepared something quick, but I want a good setup. I've got my laptop and my tablet as a side screen to get access to more information while I'm in the meeting. I've raised the computer to eye level. You see, guys, actually you are seeing me and the camera is at my eye level. Okay? You avoid seeing something like this, seeing people from beneath. Why is it so important to be at eye level? First of all, because people are going to see your face just like they see it usually, not from beneath. Because you will feel more confident, because the image you will see of yourself will be an image you recognize. And because being able to watch and look at people in the camera at eye level creates eye contact, just like in a real meeting. And this is so important to convey some kind of comfort and great looking, during a meeting. In the setup, think about light. Okay, I've got a small device. You see it right here. It's from a company called LumeCube. There's a suction cup. You can put it attached to your smartphone, your tablet, and give some light to you. So with a cool light, you see, I've got nothing fancy here. It's my home, nothing fancy, but I've got this light and I've thought about light. So you give a better comfort. Look, if I hide the light, look at this. No more light. You see what I mean? With light. Okay? So it's a little detail and something that costs something like $45 today or $50. I don't know. It's quite not that expensive. And you can have it with your toolkit and really enhance your meeting. Okay? This is the small stuff. For people who would like to get more information, I will provide the link somewhere. Okay. Be prepared and follow the agenda. Again, common sense, but following the agenda will avoid pointless meetings. This is important. But take time for some icebreakers, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some icebreakers, and maybe chat, maybe ask questions about what you are doing before the meeting, what you're going to do afterwards, play a little game, have small drinks, a small snack together, whatever. But please think about some icebreakers, just like you would do during a real meeting, right? Avoid disturbances, okay? Try to work where there's no noise. In case you are not in a cool environment with no disturbance, just postpone the meeting, right? Then you should be aware of the shortcomings of remote meetings or remote huddles. It's not something that you should do 100% of the time, that, right? Because there's a lack of reading of the body language of the people. Because it's tiring. You will see that using remote meetings tools is really more tiresome than than going to real meetings. You will see that a lot of information will not be exchanged correctly. So the shortcoming, and mainly the main shortcoming, is as you are not working on documents or small drawings together or using extensive body language, the information may not circulate, may not exchange correctly. Be aware of this shortcoming. And then please use virtual meeting etiquette. Do not make noise. Try to make eye contact as far as you can. Try to overcome your shyness if you can. Be positive. Be tolerant. Okay, I know you know all this and that you are tolerant and positive people. But during meetings, the stress is important and you may overlook that. So think about it. Okay, this is my advice for remote collaboration. I would like to go now a few seconds, a few minutes, sharing the screen of a tool. I've chosen Zoom. Let me share my screen. Okay, this is Zoom. Why did I choose Zoom? It's today one of the best tools, obviously. I've been using a lot of different tools. I've been discussing with experts in this domain. Okay, you've got Skype, you've got Google Meet, formerly Google Hangout, you've got Microsoft Teams. Remember that Skype is part of Microsoft as well. You've got many tools, and some of them are very good. Why Zoom? There's been quite a controversy with Zoom with security issues. Know something. This tool has been created years ago as a business-to-business tool. And it's now a consumer and business tool widely used. Know that. They've started from 10 million users per day. It was last year, at the end of last year. They are now registering 300 million users per day. There's a change of scale that is so massive that, of course, it brought a couple of security concerns. But the most important thing is that it showed that this platform can scale, can adapt. And this is, for me, one of the most important things. This platform can scale and can adapt anyways. And the company has been responsive, addressing some security issues. Everything is okay, everything is perfect. Nothing is perfect in this world. And Zoom is still secured, but you have to be aware of the security. Let me show you something. I'm going to start a meeting. I'm going to share the meeting window. Here it is. First, you know that Zoom, many amongst you know Zoom. It's based on the metaphor of a meeting. You call people to join you in a virtual meeting. That's the reason why security is so obvious. And now in Zoom, you have this security tab that is front and center. When you've got everyone in the meeting, go and lock the meeting. When you want to welcome only the people you want in your meeting, enable waiting room. And please do not share to the public your meeting ID, the link to attend your meeting. It's not something you share. Well, when you invite people to a meeting in your company, you don't invite everyone. You don't go downstairs in the park and shout, "Go to the meeting room, you've got free coffee." No, you don't do that. When you close the door of your meeting, you do not let anyone come in and bomb your meeting. Well, in virtual meeting, it's exactly the same thing, right? It's the same thing, just lock it, prevent unwanted people from coming in. This is important. Okay? So be aware of security. So my invitation is, when this webinar is finished, and when it's still fresh in your mind, go to your Zoom or your other tools, Skype, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, whatever. Go to your tool and check for the security tab and check for the security procedure, and make it a reflex, make it something automatic, right? Be aware, have this security state of mind. As soon as it became a habit, well, you will not think anymore of it. You will just do it and protect your meeting the same way you would protect a real life meeting with simple common sense protection. Okay? I will not, because we don't have time, I will not go through all the tools available in the meeting. But I want to draw your attention on something, is screen sharing, right? Zoom is doing things very, very well there. Not the only tool to do that, but this tool is doing it best. So when you want to share screen, let me show you the window. Okay, I think you see it. Sorry, there's no it's the only way to show it. This is the window when you want to share a screen, or when you want to share something from Zoom. And look at all this. You've got all the applications windows available, like many other tools. You've got a whiteboard, okay? But you can also share your iPhone or your iPad or your tablet, if you get an Android tablet and you are on a PC. You can share this. So it's important, this, because you can have your video and your screen sharing at the same time. And with the tablet, it's like you have your document in hands. So the ergonomy, the user experience is very good. You've got your document in hand that is shared to your colleagues, and you've got your camera, which is you share your image to your colleagues. And then you've got some advanced features, like, for example, the content of a second camera. An additional camera is very cheap. You can buy for a couple of bucks, for 20 or 30 bucks. You can buy a USB webcam, and you can add it to your setup. It means that you can switch from your laptop camera to the second camera for showing, for example, something inside a cupboard, inside a rack, inside a furniture, inside an engine system, inside whatever you want, or a second person, or a document that you have not scanned, or an object. And this will also enhance the experience. right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is for the first part, the remote collaboration tools. Of course, I cannot be long enough to show you all the features. If you have questions, please ask, of course. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, we are done with the remote meeting. Now, how to improve resource and file sharing? Well, I guess that many of you know Dropbox or Google Drive or OneDrive, Microsoft OneDrive. Many of these shared file sharing and file backup systems. Okay, for many of you, it became the everyday system. But I'm quite sure that most of you do not know exactly what you can do with all this system, or you can improve resource and file sharing with this system. First of all, I've got a very strong advice for you. Have a designated curator. Oh, what the hell is a curator? A curator is someone that will be responsible for you for the management, update, cleanup, validation, organization of these files. If you're part of a team, maybe it's you, the curator, but if you're part of the team, you will need someone like this, where quite a good part of their workday will be, at least 1 hour or two, will be dedicated to file curation, document curation. You will tell me, oh, no one has time to do that. Believe me, the economy of scale, the increase of productivity when you curate correctly your files is tremendous. You will see that. So it's worth spending 1 or 2 or 3 hours a day of someone on curating the massive amount of files you have. Again, please, security, state of mind. Remember, okay, be careful, you should. Remember that. Think security. It means when you share a document, think about, can I share it? Is it safe? Is it a confidential document or not? If I share it, do I share it to the good person? Exactly like with real documents, with a real paperback or paper folder, whatever. So be careful, be careful. I know you are, but also so many people overlook this security state of mind. Well, if possible, also go for business accounts. What do I mean by that? Well, have your yacht management, yourself, whatever, subscribe to business accounts. They are not really cheap. For some good services, could be up to $20 per month. But it's a service that you will be happy to pay for many reasons. First of all, usually when you've got a business account, you have a user management that comes with the business account. It means that you can onboard people, but you can also ban people that left the company. You can manage various levels of confidentiality and teams. You can create a more organized teamwork. And you have access to added value services like versioning. You remember accessing your older version of a document and whatever. So please consider going for business account. And importantly, separate your personal account from business account. Quite every of these systems out there, Dropbox and others, they allow to separate personal and business account. Do that. Do not mix personal files with business files and so on. This is important. You would say, oh, I don't do that. Think again, check carefully. I'm quite sure that in your computer, there's some folders that are too close together and are personal one and business one. Think about it. Again, clean up. Get rid of old files, obsolete files. Clean up those files. Make them clean in terms of names. Have a naming convention and so on. This is where you should ask for guidelines. You remember the ETO guy or the IT guy, the people that are able to provide you with good support. Ask them. They will be happy to provide you with naming guidelines, organization guidelines, and so on. And clean up, because sharing is one thing, but sharing the mess is not super good. Did I insist you need a curator? Well, I do insist. That is excessively important. Think about having a curator, please. Why is it so important again? Well, it's someone which is going to be his responsibility to provide you with clean, fresh, updated information. And the gain in productivity is tremendous. Again, if you are alone, it may be important that you'll be yourself curator, or you can be maybe the curator for your team. Think about it. It's possible. It's possible. Okay, time for sharing my screen again. And I will show you a few tips and tricks with Dropbox. Why did I choose Dropbox? First of all, I've been using Dropbox since the beginning. These people, I know them. They started in California, in the Silicon Valley. They are fantastic people. They have the most reliable asset management database system in the world. It's a system that has been created back in the days of Silicon Graphics, before Google. It's an amazing system. They have a versioning system and a locking and the synchronization system that is the best in the world for many reasons. I don't want to go too technical there, but they really have the best synchronization, versioning, and database system in the world. They have a great business account value. They provide great service. They are here to last, and they are agnostic. I mean, you are not tied with Google, Microsoft, whomever. It's an independent company. That said, working with Microsoft, working with Google is good also. It's your decision. But today, I'm keen on showing you Dropbox a little bit. Okay, maybe a lot of you do already know Dropbox. It's that directory, that folder you have on your computer, where you drag and drop things inside. It gets in sync with the cloud, and you can use links to share files and documents. But Dropbox goes far beyond that. Let me show you. Let's go for Dropbox. Well, what do you see here? You see the Dropbox app. I mean, you know Dropbox, you've got this directory in sync with the cloud in your computer. You've got also the application in your smartphone and your tablet, where you can access your files from everywhere in the world. Right. They now have an app. You see it here, where you see your files, just where you would see your file in your file management or Finder for people who are on macOS, or your file browser on Microsoft, right? So nothing new here. Let's go for a folder here. A folder that I can share with you. You can see the content. Nothing new, nothing fancy. But you can, on any folder, you can add information. For example, I can say, this folder is for people attending the webinar. Okay, it's the demo syndrome. Sharing is not working good today. Okay. Okay, you can select a file. Oh. Never mind. And you can access various services, signing a PDF, for example, for signature, adding activity, comments, information about the file, tracking the file activity, adding a lot of what we call in our jargon metadata. I mean, you've got the documents and you've got data that are attached to the document that shows how you collaborate on this document, how you create more information from those documents. For example, sharing comments, signing the document, sending the document directly to a virtual meeting, sharing this document, and so on. Right? When these documents are documents like Microsoft Word, or you can have real-time collaboration on these documents. Okay? You can be 1, 2, or more people working together on the same document. And this document is always in sync, in synchronization in the Dropbox. All right? So think about it. Dropbox is not only the file sharing and the file repository, the file directory that where you passively send your files. It's an active collaboration tools where you can add information on top of documents, make the information easier to find, easier to share. Okay? So I think that's important. It gives you another perspective on a file sharing tool like Dropbox. So you begin to understand this trilogy of tools. You've got remote meeting or huddles, time sharing, your face-to-face, but you also have files sharing, where you can work together on a file, where you can add information and clean up this information to make it ready and available for everyone. Okay, stop sharing this for the moment. And I'm back here for a while and go back to the presentation. Okay, so you know. Now, how to get started with collaboration whiteboarding. What the hell is whiteboarding? Okay. Well, my suggestion is get help from an experienced user to kickstart, because as soon as you will be kickstarted, I mean, as soon you will dive into it, you will see the potential. But at first, what is whiteboarding? And by the way, here, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I can help you. So after the meeting, if you want to get in touch, I would be more than happy to help you kickstart with whiteboarding and with real-time collaboration boards. So do not hesitate. Again, have a designated curator. Yes, it's teamwork. So again, the curator, you have to think about who in your team, is it you? Who in your team is able and will be the curator? Because if you have a real-time board, people are going to work together, and as usual, it's going to be a mess after a while. So you need someone that will clean that up, put things right, erase scrummy stuff, right? And make it fresh and updated all the time. So a curator, again, is an important role. So you will understand at the end of this presentation that curating the content is one of the secret and the mystery of remote collaboration. Make use of templates. You will see in the system that I will show you that they come, and many systems like that are coming with templates for meeting minutes, for brainstorming, for task management. You will see. But make use of templates. Don't go first yourself, trying to put sticky notes, whatever you put on your whiteboard without going with a template. Then start from the template and personalize. You will see that. If possible, have a permanent display somewhere, on board or in your office if you are an office worker, or at home, whatever. But on board mainly. Have a big screen somewhere in the crew mess, in the yacht office, in pantry, wherever, but somewhere where you can have in permanence access to the whiteboard or one of your whiteboards, because you can have many whiteboards, but you can have one where you've got all your sticky notes. You know the whiteboard you already have at the crew mess entrance, where you've got all this regulation document paper pinned to the board, or some kind of board like this. It's a big screen. They are cheap now for a few $100. You can have a big screen now, and you can attach this to a very small computer or tablet, and you can display all the time the whiteboard. So it's a place where you can easily go. You have your cup of tea during your break. You go for lunch, or you go for on-board meeting, and you've got an eye on the whiteboard all the time. You know it's there. It's an important part of your daily workflow. So if you can, create this permanent dedicated display. And get to know your toolbox. What is this toolbox? Okay, let me explain. Whiteboarding comes with a lot of tools. Amongst these tools, okay, you've got the Kanban, sticky notes, you know that, Post-its, cards, mind maps, frames, okay, sketches, doodles, you know, annotations, votes, chats, comments to one person, etc. Right? Get to know that. Try to go on internet and try to find information about what is a Kanban. What is this multi-column display of information like Trello, for people who know Trello? But Kanban, you know, we've got columns. I will show you later on. Okay, sticky notes, you all know how to use it. Card, what is a card? Mind maps, you know, it's so powerful, mind maps. You put the idea in the center, and you've got all those branches that gives you a perspective on your idea. But it's not easy to kickstart. It's not easy to master at the beginning. So get familiar with this. Get this knowledge for yourself. That's important. Well, let's go for a short demo of one of the best whiteboarding tools. I chose MIRO. Well, first of all, because I'm expert in MIRO. I know it very well, and I do a lot of business using MIRO. It's probably the most comprehensive tools. There are many tools out there, but this one is comprehensive. I mean, and it works on your tablet, smartphone, computer. And computer could be an app, or a native app, or could be also on the web. It's very flexible, very powerful, and the templates are just fantastic. So let me show you and share MIRO. So MIRO, basically, you can access it on the web. You see, MIRO. You can access it on the web, but you've got also native apps. Here, I'm in my macOS app. Okay. What is this? I mean, it's a place where you create boards, whiteboards, infinite whiteboards. I've got here one that I've created with Jean-Pierre a few days ago to prepare this meeting. Okay, but boards can be also meeting minutes. For example, here is a template to create meeting minutes where you get post-its to follow agenda items, to define action lists, to-do lists, discussions, agreements, and whatever. This is a simple template, but you can have also very, very complex template. This is one I use regularly during design sprints. For example, if you want to create a design or manage a complex project, could be a refit on board, could be the next complex charter, could be a rebranding of the yacht, could be redefining how the galley is working or the spa products and stuff. Anything you want to design or create, you can find a template that will give you access to boards or parts of information, okay, anytime. Okay, information are structured by frames and by, okay, I've got a little bit of a problem here. My computer is slowing down, but whatever, I think you understand the point. Let's go back to the board here and create a board very quickly. Sorry. Yes. If you don't mind, I am going to cut my video. Here it is. Let's create a new board. I'm here in a project called Akumendo, and I create a new board. This new board, I will share it with my CEO, Jean-Pierre. He will be notified, and I create this board. Sorry. Here it is. Let me say it's all webinar, and I notify the members if I want. Here it is. Okay, I'll go to an existing board, and I hope you will understand what is this. You've got an infinite canvas, right? Where you can move around with your trackpad or with your mouse, and access to visualization of all your board fit to screen here. Let's move a little bit and explore like if it's brand new. You've got in your tool set here, you've got sticky notes. Okay. Okay. You've got sticky notes, you can move sticky notes around, and you can gather sticky notes around. I can ask Jean-Pierre, you see Jean-Pierre with his cursor. Jean-Pierre, please, can you add a sticky note as well? Okay, Jean-Pierre is sleeping or out trying to find the sticky notes. But whatever, I'm going to add another kind of information called cards. And you can also use templates. This window here shows integrations with apps. You have a huge amount of possible interaction and integration. You can integrate with Dropbox, you can integrate with Zoom, you can integrate with, I don't know, Evernote, Jira, a lot of tools that you may already use on a day-to-day basis. But importantly, they provide you with a lot of templates, a huge amount of templates, right? So if you are curious, go to MIRO, create a free account, and go and see all the templates they have available, okay? Because there are tens of templates that are so interesting, right? You can create Kanban frameworks, mind maps, etc., etc. Okay? If you want to use a template, just select it, add it. And they had for you an example that you can edit easily to create this mind map. Okay, I don't want to go too much further because we would spend too much time together on this tool, but I think you get the idea now. You understand what you can do with this system. Let me share again my video.
Yes, put on your video because it's boring if we don't see you.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I think you get now the idea of what is this whiteboarding tool, and you can imagine how it can work together with the remote meeting, with the file sharing, and with this whiteboarding. These tools, they work together as a synergy because they fulfill particular needs, and as a trilogy, they give you the power to exchange much more information and much more efficiently than you would use using only one of these tools. Okay, I go back to the presentation because we are moving fast enough. This is the last point I want to draw your attention on. We have been talking about remote meeting, about whiteboard collaboration, about file sharing. All of this is information sharing, right? And today, modern tools are more and more efficient. And one of the modern tools that is extremely efficient now is to integrate in your workflow, in your environment, is to integrate dynamic signage. I mean, it's a big display, can be a touch display, where information is always accessible. But this information is always accessible, is also accessible on web pages, smartphone, tablets. Okay? The advantage of the dynamic signage systems usually is that they format the information so to be displayed for people who give short time span attention to information, like in a shop, like in a train station or airport, like everywhere where you've got this dynamic signage. On board a yacht, in your day-to-day workflow, dynamic signage could bring a very fast access to formatted information to you or your guests or the owner. Let me show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about. Dynamic signage, so, is one of this kind of display. You see that. This is a display that has been mounted in a crew mess. You see it, it's on the wall. It's always available, always on. It's a touch display. And you've got various information that I will detail a little bit later. But also information that can be displayed on any TV display on board for guests, for crew. With the tablet or with the remote control, they can have access to the information you want to give them access to. It's some kind of also collaboration. I mean, it's a direct link from you to your guests or to your colleagues with formatted information. You can have access on your tablet or smartphone. What I'm showing you here specifically is a product that we do at Akumendo develop and install. We have understood in the past 2 years that dynamic signage is a huge opportunity to improve information on board. And on board or inside, for example, a hospitality market like hotel rooms or big meeting rooms, shared working environment, and so on. So let's dive into a short demo of what we call this dynamic signage stuff. So let me again share. My display. Okay. What do you see here? You see an example of a dynamic signage display that is supposed to be displayed on a vertical big screen. I don't know, in your crew mess, for example. This one is typically a crew mess display, this one. It's modular. You've got, for example, the sidebar, you've got the date, logo of the boat, for example. You've got a calendar, event, and agenda. You can show your security level here. You've got the pinboard for post-its. You've got the news board for some various news dedicated to the board. You've got the local weather from a professional web source. You've got your bridge information. It's NMEA data for those who know what is NMEA. It's a bus of information coming from the bridge. So you've got your instruments on board giving information like the wind, the air temperature, the water temperature. You can have a choice of CCTV cameras. You've got your interactive crew list to see who's in and out, who's on watch or not. And you've got this small module for your steward call status. If you received a steward call and which status is the steward call. This information could be also displayed on an iPad, on a smartphone, wherever you want it to be displayed. It could be updated from outside the boat, from inside the boat. You can have, for example, you are the yacht manager. You can have this display in your office, and you can watch everything happening in the boat you're managing. And you can have such a control room where you've got all your boats at one glance. This system is fed by what we call a back office. A back office is a website, something web pages where you access through password and where you can update or add information. What you see here, for example, is the management of the crew list where you can add, remove crew members and check their status. You've got here the agenda. You can add and manage all agenda items. Here you can see the news board. Here you can see the pin board. It's where you add, you post it, but it's also where you manage all your steward calls. It's where you manage the TV channels that are available. You manage your Apple TV and so on. Okay, so I don't want to go too much into the detail, but I want to show you this. Jean-Pierre, are you online? If Jean-Pierre is online, he can show you, for example, that.
I'm still here.
Super. Can you send whatever a steward call or something?
So with this small button, we can push and send a call. We can also send a call through our interface. That's also very easy to send a security, or let's say for the next coffee break. And so you should see that on your screen.
You have a stewardess call from Master Suite.
Myself, I received the call
Okay, so I go back.
as a crew member, as a part of the stew system.
So I go back
you can share your screen.
Yeah, I go back to screen sharing.
Yeah, you see the call arrive, and so I can just say, okay, I'm coming. So it is updated on the monitor, and when it's finished, I can of course log on and say, okay, that's finished. That's okay. And here I can update my status on board with this tool, where I'm now, let's say, on watch, and the chip queue is not there anymore. It will change also on the monitor.
Okay, let me try to go back to the screen sharing. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a hard time going back to. Okay, anyways.
Stewardess call from main salon.
Okay, I think we have been around the topic. The signage is a way to provide information to guests and crew, and the connection with remote collaboration system is obvious, where, for example, any post-it or any information you add in the whiteboard can be conveyed, can be updated into this signage system, where a window of a virtual meeting can be inserted into the signage display. So it means that you've got a way from outside to collaborate with inside, and from inside to get information from outside, in a way that the information is provided to you in a comfort way. Could be your choice of the tablet, the smartphone, the computer, or an interactive display in the crew mess or any location you may think it's worthwhile. Okay, so I think you got an idea. Let me zoom in if I can. No, my computer is reaching its limit. I'm sorry. So let me go back to. Okay, let me go back to the presentation. Okay, gentlemen, we are almost done with the presentation, and I would like to go into the mostly into the Q&A session. This is the end of the formal presentation for me, and let's dive into questions if you want. Okay, it's up to you.
Oh no, I think we can't hear you.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't put my phone on you, so
now we can.
Well, this has been like a great webinar, and I am very happy with the information shared by you, Guy and Jean-Pierre. It's a lot of information, so
it's a lot.
It's a lot. But what we've done, we've recorded this webinar. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that it is shared with you guys, and we post it online. We put it on our website, so for everybody to look back. And I think that's good to look back and to see if there's any more questions. Palladini, thank you so much for your kind words. Is there anybody? So let's do a little Q&A. I think we've been running a bit longer than expected, but that's fine. I think the information was worth it, so we're not going to complain. Guys, anything you would like to ask in the chat, and don't forget, you can always reach out to Guy and to Jean-Pierre at any given moment. Their information is on our website. Send them an email. Make sure you're in touch with them if you need any information. I think this has been great. I think you did a great session. Tom, thank you for your kind words. I guess people are overwhelmed with your information, Guy. I think you basically touched on everything they wanted to. I would like to thank you again. I wish you all a great day. Guys, we're back this afternoon. Josipa, Josipa's like, you attend all our webinars. Thank you again for your kind words. I think everybody's happy to have to put on my flitch on my lights.
you remind the speech.
I have to remind the speech. Great. Everybody's see. Look, we're getting all these nice, wonderful chats in there. Emma, thank you very much. Tom, thank you very much. Paladin is asking if they can have the custom presentation. Would you, Guy, like to share a version with us, like the regular version, so that we can put it online and so that we can share it? So yes, the information will be shared. I think everybody's looking forward to seeing that. Look back at the webinar. Jean-Pierre, anything you would like to say to finish it off?
Yes, just say thank you very much for this time, for your time, for this idea, which was very good. And I hope that the attendees were happy with this, and it can maybe give some tricks and tips to use all of these tools. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you maybe live in the next event, maybe to make this presentation in live.
Great.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. I am just sharing just quickly that this afternoon we're doing wines, something completely different. But for everybody who's interested in looking into wines, join us again this afternoon. Again, thank you, everybody. Well, Ellen and I, he's saying, like, who knew Dropbox could do that much? Well, we now know. It's like there's a lot of information coming out here. Thank you again. I'm going to finish this. Guy, Jean-Pierre, have a wonderful day and hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.